YouTube's having yeah there. Okay, YouTube is also streaming now.
Hurrah.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I mean that's what my OBS is. So might be lying. No.
Okay.
OBS would never lie.
Yeah, exactly. OBS would lie. So I posted a 8-minute video to the Discord, to everyone's Discords. And how many of you watched it?
Which one?
The Veilguard video.
Fuck no, I'm not touching that thing with a rusty pole.
Fair, fair.
I think I glossed
I'm-
through like a few
I'm
minutes of it.
gonna
and
be
cringed.
honest. You sent that to me at 6:43. I think I just skipped it because I was still waking up.
That's fair. That's fair.
Literally, I open up Discord on my phone at exactly 6:42, and 2 seconds later, I get a pop up on the phone like, huh? Sneaky sent me some shit at 5:30 in
Good
Discord
morning,
first. Oh.
Max!
No, he sent it within seconds of me turning on my mobile apps. Like, what? No, I'm not dealing with this. I gotta leave in an hour and a half. I'm not dealing with this shit.
That's fair.
Sneaky is in your walls. He
I
knows
am
when
in
you're
your
awake.
walls. I know your schedule.
That's scary.
But it's bad. It's honestly, it's literally everything we make fun of on this show. Like, it really is just fan fiction.
Oh. Sneaky.
What?
The election ads have infiltrated your stream.
Oh, come on.
Based. Is it at least a Trump ad?
No, it's just a generic, like, have a plan to vote. And I'm just like, bro, it's 7 o'clock. I'm pretty sure polling places in my state close like an hour ago.
Yeah.
I didn't care enough.
Wait,
Yeah, I did.
wait. I'm only 4 seconds into that video. I don't think I'm gonna watch it during the stream. Is this the scene where the character comes out to their parents?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh.
It has the worst fucking dialogue. Okay, actually, not even close. Not even close to the worst dialogue. But so this video isn't even all of the dialogue in Dragon Age. That with Veilguard, that's terrible. It is specifically all of the dialogue from this one fucking abomination of a character compiled into an 8-minute clip, and only the worst bit.
Oh, man.
But it is.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
everything I'm seeing from this game is that at its worst, I'm rolling my eyes, and at its best, I'm really glad I didn't pay $60, $70 for a game that is worth at most 25 based on quality from what I'm seeing.
10. Maybe I'll play it if I can buy it for 5, I'll play it.
Well, with how bad it's doing, you might see a $5 sale sooner than you would think,
Yeah,
assuming they don't just
maybe.
pull it from stores.
Well, I mean, they did abandon it. They did announce they were abandoning it.
Oh, so they're not even gonna fix any, like, if there are any bugs that,
Oh no,
like,
there's gonna be
soft lock or hard lock the players, they're just
Oh
they're
no,
just
no,
done.
they'll do bug fixing,
There's
but
no
they will not
DLC.
be doing any content patches. They won't be doing any DLC. There will be no expansions.
Oh, that's good. They're not gonna waste any more money. Fantastic.
Oh, I kind of wanted them to waste more money, but yeah.
Same. At the same time, it's
Maybe
like
I
they
should
made the
start a
game,
petition.
they're done with it, moving on.
At
maybe,
this
maybe I should
point,
start a petition to re-release Veilguard. We swear we were all busy voting this
Yeah, you released it during the early voting period. What, did you think we had time for that? Come
weekend. Yeah,
on.
exactly. You gotta re-release it, guys. Yeah, we promise we'll show up this time.
We promise we'll behave this time, as you can't get that out with a straight face.
we swear we'll show up. But yeah, no, like the fucking dialogue from this character is just so god awful. Like it's terrible. What video? I posted it in
gaming.
Gaming, I
gaming,
think.
gaming as well. Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad because like the dialogue is quite literally. Here is this food, Mom. Pirates eat it when they come into port. Oh, this is too rich for me. I want vegetables. Okay, fine. I'll get you your vegetables. And then she comes back. Here is your vegetables. She sits down. I'm non-binary. Huh? Just what?
This has escalated.
What is
You
this
know-
fucking? Hey, what is this conversation? What is this like?
They could
Huh?
have tried to do something clever, because you don't see coming out scenes very often in like our age group for pop culture stuff. Like that wasn't really a big thing growing up in media.
Yeah.
So when you see one that was clever, it kind of sticks with you. Because it's like, oh, they've been dropping hits with the food they've been putting out. Like, you
What?
could do this in a clever way if you want that scene.
I guess. I mean, it's just like, well, the other stupid part of the scene was that they tried to portray the mom as like unreasonable and like not understanding of her daughter's new position as non-binary, and it made them look reasonable. They're like, well, what the fuck does that mean? It just means I'm not a man or a woman. But you have female parts, but I don't feel like a woman. I feel like a dragon killer.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay. I went a little further than that. I'm at the 20-second mark now. I'm sitting here because the mother's like, this is too rich. I'm like, the child in
Tune.
question is acting
Yes.
like the mother's being unreasonable bitch. Like,
Yes.
shouldn't you know this would be too rich for your mother? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Generally, the dinner host, unless it's a stranger, should keep in mind the tastes of the
Yeah,
people
yeah,
they're
but
serving
you
dinner
but you don't
to.
understand, Max. These people are all about acceptance and tolerance, but it's a one-way street. You always have to accept and tolerate them. They don't have to accept and tolerate you. If you show up as a guest, you have to eat their food. If they show up as a guest, you have to eat their food.
Meanwhile, I'm
Yeah.
just sitting here like, all you'd have to do is tell the mother, like, oh, don't worry, I only use half the seasoning, because I figured that'd be too much, like a good
Yeah.
family member would,
Yeah.
instead of
Or
passive
alternatively, you
aggressively putting a plate of uncooked veggies on the table.
yeah. Or alternatively, you preface it with, "Now, Mom, I know you're normally a vegetarian, but I want to show you the Ravani culture of the people I've been hanging out with," or just something. Just be like, "Hey, look, I understand you have preferences, but this is important to me, and I would really appreciate it if you took part in it as well."
Yeah,
Like,
and then if the mother still refused with the tone they used, all right, you know what? Yeah, the
yeah,
mother's being
then they're
essentially
actually unreasonable. Yeah. But no, this is a major problem. I mean, the reason why I'm even fucking talking about it is because I have literally for over a decade now. Yeah, because 2014. Yeah, that's around the time I started talking to you about fanfics. For literally over a decade now, I have been saying that eventually these fanfic authors are going to find their way into media. They're going to find their way into the games, into the movies, the TV shows, and they're going to bring their dog shit dialogue and their dog shit characters and their dog shit plot structure with them from their fanfic days. And that's exactly what this shit is. It reads like a goddamn fanfiction that someone's writing for free because they're in like 10th grade. Like, it's so bad. Like, oh, I'm 1/3 Dragon Hunter, 1/3 Kunari, 1/3 Riviani, a whole ass
Is
non-binary.
is there another 1/3 you can stick in there somewhere?
Yeah, it's, it's
I
so
have
bad.
expected you to continue that with more nonsense fractions, to be
Well,
honest.
I mean, I was only quoting the video, but yeah.
Uh, um, hmm.
And it's like the characters are just so unlikable. They are so not relatable. It reeks of millennial Redditor level intelligence, humor that doesn't exist, Big Bang Theory watching, like just empty brain shenanigans of just like, well, like in one part of the video, like this one character who's supposed to be this really quirky Asian girl who is a who fancies herself a magical engineer and relic hunter. Um, she goes and finds an ancient relic. She starts to try and repair it. It it burns out at one point, like shoots off some magic puffs, and so she gets really mad and just starts smashing stuff with her wrench.
Um, okay, was this failure number like 11 or 12 of the same iteration?
Number one, as far as we're aware.
So
Bitch, why are
there's
you in the field?
And then so our player character walks up to them. They're like, "Oh, hey there, Rook. I was just, you know, destroying things." Huh? And like your options are, I like destroying things too. That's okay, I understand, and you're strong, I'm sure you'll get it eventually.
Is there an option to be an asshole in this game?
Yes. If it's against someone who's straight and white and male. Otherwise, you have to affirm all of their quirks.
You
Um,
know, I
yeah,
really appreciate it the more I learn about this game, because it's just like, man, I can't wait for Baldur's Gate 3 to go on a good sale so that I have a fuck ton of replayability because I can be as much of a dickwad or goody two shoes as I want to my companions.
yeah.
That's
It's
all
it's really bad.
honest to God, at this point, Veilguard is great marketing for why you should buy Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
Because those are your two options currently for open-ended,
yeah,
uh, narrative-heavy games, which is probably unfair to the Dragon Age, but that kind of
yeah.
that kind of sailed under the bridge after its first week of release.
Well, you see, like, Baldur's Gate is narrative heavy in the sort of way that like a battleship is heavy. Um, Veilguard is narrative heavy in the sort of way um a 500-ton block of lead is narrative heavy. in water. Sink,
Yes, of course.
the bottom. Um, funny thing is, yeah, I've always been in someone of that line. Al- Um, yeah, but it's just bad. Like the dialogue's just bad. The characters are just hateable, and every interaction with them, you just have to affirm their quirkiness. There's one moment where if you pick up a mirror in your um room, you have the option to put down the mirror or come out as trans. And you're presented with four options, and it's all come out as trans, come out as trans, come out as trans, come out as trans, put down the
Are you
mirror.
talking about the fucking Dragon Age thing?
Yes.
Yes, that's what we've been
Yes,
talking
where
about.
you could press back and ignore the interaction entirely?
Oh my god, it's almost like I fucking said that!
Okay,
did
well, you
just
did.
come
I
in.
was not fucking here, dude.
Then shut the fuck up and lurk more.
Literally just got here? Question mark?
Yeah, well then don't fucking condescend to me and talk down to me and be like, oh, whoa, that thing that you're wrong about because you could just go back?
I was
Yeah,
not
like the thing
being-
I just fucking said?
Okay. Understood.
As I was saying, the whole fucking thing's terrible. It reads like a bad fan fiction, and the worst part is you pay $70 to get it.
Honestly, I think the major problem is the writing's just gone so downhill that that's now the main
There's
sticking
basically no writing anymore. That's the problem. There wasn't right. There hasn't been any writing in a Dragon Age game since Dragon Age 2.
point. That could be debated.
No. Like, the writing in Dragon Age 2 was fucking terrible. The only time the writing in Dragon Age 2 was anywhere remotely good was whoever they had writing the fucking, what's his name, Varric? Yeah, the only time they had
that's
fucking
what I was
Varric
saying.
scenes.
That's what I was saying. Like, Dragon Age 2 was not good writing.
I said, no, that's debatable. That means that there's a statement that I made that is debatable. You disagree with the statement that I made. And my statement
You are
was that
cutting out.
I'm not. Am I cutting out for anyone else?
It
No.
might just be my internet.
Just you.
I
then.
heard popping.
It is
but
your
you were pretty
internet
clear.
just right now.
Yeah, go once again. Go punch your brother's computer and tell him to stop downloading porn.
Yes. As bad as Inquisition was, it was miles better.
I did
No, it really
find-
wasn't. As someone who put 160 hours into Inquisition, it really wasn't. Inquisition's story was badly damaged by the sheer level of time you had to put into a zone to get the story. And if you didn't put that, like, now, let's be clear here, you could beat the main quest in like 30 hours. But if you didn't do all the side quests and you didn't do the lore quests and the various little like fucking collectible gatherings where your characters would comment and shit, that they would get companion points and reveal their backstory to you. If you didn't do all that, you could technically just mainline the main quest and get the game done, but you would not understand half the things that are going on because the characters are like, yeah, I am a mage. You get to near the end of the story of the Inquisition. Ha! Psych, bitch! Actually, I'm an elven god of death and destruction and revolution. Get fucked! And it's like, huh? if you didn't do all the side quests and you kind of saw the hints and flags coming, it was, then it was like, oh, I knew it, instead of I have no idea what's going on anymore. So the writing is fucking terrible. Because unless you sunk shit tons of hours into the game, you did not understand what was going on. You did not understand why the progress that you made in each zone was so fucking horrific in terms of how bad everyone's doing. Because you weren't there for all of the side quests and the stand a whiles and listens that all the NPCs had, where they fucking trauma dumped all of their lore onto you. Speaking of trauma dumping, that's like 99% of Veilguard. Is every single time your fucking character opens a mouth, it's about trauma, their trauma, which is actually the writer's trauma, and the writers are just fucking trauma dumping on the players, and then fucking sitting there and lecturing the players, and oh, by the way, the bad guy, yeah, he's gay too, he's trans and gay too, and he was fighting against it. And they cracked his egg open, and now he realized. I wish I was fucking joking. Honestly, it's actually kind of hilarious because the Coon is literally just Islam. Like, that was the inspiration for the Coon, was Islam. And I don't know if the writers have realized that, because they make the Coon and the characters that interact with it do very interesting things. So that's questionable. The Mass Effect choice wheels suck. Yeah, they do. They're terrible. They were kind of good in Mass Effect when you were objectively the good guy, regardless of your method, and it was the good method, the bad method, and that's it. And I was like, all right, well, fine. I mean, yeah, in the future of a linear game, killing someone or sparing them, pretty much all you can do, because you're kind of just a soldier doing shit. You're not like the Inquisitor leading a faction, and you have to make complicated and nuanced choices, which the dialogue wheel really doesn't work for. I miss Dragon Age writing was filthy cold-head dirt dwellers. Fuck yourself, you tree-hugging leaf lover. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, characters hating each other for their race is bad, so we had to remove it to remind everyone that it's bad by covering it up and making sure no one ever knows about it. Don't ask. But yeah, so we're not gonna watch the video. I highly recommend everyone watch the video. I highly disagree with Atten's take that Veilguard is just proof that BioWare has always been woke. That Dragon Age Origins woke. Wasn't. Kind of a wild opinion, personally. I don't think having a gay character in a game makes the game woke. I think having a gay character in the game and their whole purpose in the game being gay, and all they talk to you about in the game being gay, and every line of their dialogue relates to them being gay, then yes, that makes the game woke.
You can have a gay or lesbian character, and if it's just one facet of them, it's all right.
Yeah. It's, oh, this character's gay. Cool. Whatever.
This character's hers. Same sex relationships. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever. It's long, if you're not shoving my fucking face in it, I don't fucking care. If you are shoving my fucking face in it and then the rest of the game sucks, well, you know.
People look for correlation. As a species, we are really good at seeing patterns, whether they're there or not.
Yeah, sure, but it's like, if you have 30 hours to write the dialogue for the entire game, and you spend 29 of those hours writing dialogue for the gay character where he tells you he's gay in every scene, and one of those hours writing the rest of the game's dialogue, and then that dialogue sucks, well, people aren't out of line telling you that your game sucks because there's too much gay in it. You clearly, if you spend too much time going on and on about various inherent traits of a person in your game and not putting that time towards making the fucking game, when the game sucks, people are completely in the right to criticize you. If the game's good, people won't care. And that's how it's always been. Yes, some people will care. A minor minority of people will be like, oh, ew, there's a gay person here. Ah. And then they won't buy the game, or they'll ignore the character.
Yes, and those are the people that are usually called rightfully weirdos. That
Yeah.
they're ignoring what could otherwise be a fantastic game because of a single character who's actually well written.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, Helldivers. It's like if Helldivers and they had some of the NPCs on the bridge of the ship were like, yeah, some of their dialogue was occasionally like, oh, so happy did you do great on that mission, Helldiver? Me and my partner here, we're gonna celebrate together. Yay. If that was like their fucking dialogue and then like the rest of the game is just the Helldiver game, before they fucked it up, everyone would have been like, oh, okay, whatever. And then just continued enjoying the game. Even if they weren't fans of gay people, they would still probably just ignore the game instead of be like, oh my god, I can't believe they put a gay person in my game. I'm gonna throw the controller out, delete my computer, demand a refund. Yes, a very small minority would do that. But even a majority of them that would dislike that sort of thing being in the game would be like, okay, I'm just going to
run
NPCs.
Yeah.
Like
everybody else does.
Yeah. So,
the entire
if the
draw
game's
of
good,
that
no
game,
one cares.
The entire draw of the game is literally to just go and
Baldur's
fight.
Gate 3 lets you do whatever the fuck you want. Everyone in your camp is basically bi and is willing to do whatever you want. Fucking
Yeah,
nobody gave a shit
one of the most
a
popular
bit.
characters, from my understanding, is extremely flamboyant in their nature, in fact.
Yes.
And fucking Asterion. It's great. And literally no one gave a shit after the first month because they were like, oh, hey, this game is good.
Now, I will say...
They haven't given a shit since, third day of official launch because people knew about it for years because of early access.
That's true.
Now, I will say,
there was
still
the crowd that looked for grift, so that's why I say a month.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of everyone in the party being bi. I feel like that kind of devalues the relationship narrative. If everyone in the party is willing to fuck everything. I would actually prefer if the elf was a little bit racist and was like, hey, look, player character, you're a great friend. but you're also a dwarf. And I'm sorry, but that's a deal breaker.
Oh yeah, the Halcyon thing.
Yeah,
The
it's just
the
like,
Halcyon thing is the one. It's like the one thing you see in game. Isn't that also a choice? I swear
Yeah.
to God, that's a choice that you can make,
But
and you can also just say no.
but my point is though is like I would prefer if the party was more selective of, oh, you can only romance this character if you're this race and this sex. Now I realize you can't do super specifics because you only have so many party members and you only have so many racial and sex options.
Yeah.
But if this one character only doesn't date dwarves, this one character is straight, this one character doesn't like elves, etc., etc.,
They
I was
have
gonna say
one caveat
that's
to
like
each one.
it
that's
adds
gonna be a programming
more...
fucking nightmare.
What
Not
the
really.
fuck are you talking about? Not even slightly. They used to do that.
Like
I
all the
was
time.
talking more about. Okay, so I was also gonna bring up the fact that they were adding mod support, and now you have to add all that in, and then of course you have other options where it's just like, oh
Not
yeah, you're gonna have
really.
people.
You just add some fucking flags in. This
You
is
would
the
add
male
a
flag. This is
generic
the female
character
flag. Yeah, this dialogue plays when this happens, and that's why I said, this character doesn't like dwarves. Okay, so we're gonna add a dwarf flag in. Very standard, very standard dialogue behavior. Dwarf flag activates if the mod has the dwarf flag on the dwarf race. That's like, oh, these are the dark dwarves, the deep dwarves, the laser beam dwarves.
Then you
if they
like,
add the
everybody likes humans, and then all your mods pull from the human race. Done.
well, no, I'm saying is like, no, you don't have to do that. Like I said, it's just flags. It's just putting fucking flags on your shit, and the mod maker just has to properly flag their shit, and it'll properly hook it. I used to make dialogue for these sorts of games. I know how these sorts of engines work. Like,
Well, then fair enough. You are allowed to have that opinion that you have. I don't really tend to fuck with that.
So the problem with that particular game is that they said they were going to do mod support, but they also told their investors that they were going to try to hamper mod support. So people had to really work at it to get the mods working, unless they were using the very specific "this is on this platform" mod maker bullshit, which was highly limited by comparison.
I mean, honestly,
use
I'm not
now
sure
it's
what
much
kind of
easier to
fucking
use.
shit you're smoking, dude, because Larian dropped the dev tool.
Yeah. We literally have dev tools.
Larian has always been hyper mod friendly. Now,
Where
to be
did you
fair,
pull this source?
Larian has not always been making games that are friendly to modding, but they have always been mod friendly for their games. Divinity Origins 1 was fucking hell and a half to mod, but when Larian found out that people were trying, they were like, oh, sorry guys, here's the dev kit, but, we would have to rewrite a large chunk of the game to allow mods to just simply hook in, so you're gonna have to really work at it. His science source is the schizo screams inside his head. I divinated it from my dreams.
I was actually reading up on that when I did a lot of digging into mods for my copy of that game, and I was like, okay, well, why do I have to put all these fucking third-party mods in? Well, because they had to add this and this and this because Larian didn't have support for it.
No, what it probably was the fact that Wizards of the Coast had some sort of deal with them of, yeah, you can't have mods before all of the DLC is finished.
Yeah, they did. That was what it was. Like,
Yeah.
I seem to
And
thought
then
it was locked behind something incredibly simple, like a single flag that would allow mods.
Yes, and that is literally yes. That is Larian following the letter of the law. You would think people like Wizards of the Coast would be very familiar with this, but shockingly, the people that came up with the Warlock class didn't look too closely at the agreement they signed with Larian. Because yes, Larian was like, "Oh no, here's the dev kit for anyone that wants to use it, but we can't turn modding on. We sure hope no one looks at the source code of our game." And there's literally a
Basically, yeah.
button that is just modding on or modding off, and you just turn it
Yeah, that's literally what it
on.
was. It was a flag for mod on or mod off.
Yeah. Larian literally followed the letter of the contract of not allowing modding. The letter. But yeah. So anyway, is not good. We are not in a good state in terms of game development. Not too many games come out these days that have good dialogue. Too many game
Well, I wonder
companies.
why that is.
Yeah, well, greed mostly.
yes,
Technically.
greed.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Not technology.
you don't see Factorio compromising. You don't see Star Sector compromising. You don't see the what's the fucking dwarf game? Dwarf Fortress compromising.
Factorio doesn't have a fucking plot or dialogue that you can squeeze that kind of shit into, though.
That's where you're wrong, kiddo.
Yeah, I know they could always add it.
But it's these there's plenty of games out there that because they are a small team comprised of passionate people who are only responsible to themselves and have no investors, they don't have publishers, they don't have you know they don't have obligations to anyone but themselves and what they want to make. Sure, they might technically make less money. Like, I am sure the Dwarf Fortress guys, if if they sold their game to a bigger fucking company and published it under that company and had the funding to turn it into the Steam version might have been out 10 years ago. It might have predated Minecraft. It might have beaten Minecraft. Who knows? Um, but that didn't happen. Sure, they made less money, but they got to keep the game the way they wanted to keep the game. And they
As
didn't
they
make
should.
stupid changes because the people paying them money demanded they do it, because the people paying them money don't even believe in the changes they're telling them to make. The people paying them money are telling them to make those changes because the people they pay money to tell them what changes they should make told them to make those changes, and those people don't even believe in it. It's because those people looked at a graph, and the graph said that if they put those things in, they might make a bigger money because they reach a wider audience because Twitter said so. So, like I said, greed. Um, if you ever doubt that, just look at what happens when a game company has a Middle Eastern.
Yeah. Or China.
Yeah. So you just just is what it is, and hopefully we'll finally get people who are passionate about making video games, and hopefully one day that will be the market again. But
and
until then,
remember, if you make mods for certain games that throw on the Middle Eastern flag instead of the American flag, the mod gets banned,
yeah,
i.e., Spider-Man.
yeah, that was crazy.
All
Remember,
we
you
did
can't
was
criticize Islam, but you can criticize any other religion.
no. All
Uh,
we did was
no,
chip a
no.
flag in the game that said this was the Arabic version of the game, so it would swap all the pride flags for American flags,
Yeah,
and that was
that's the funniest
banned.
part. Yeah, and all the
Just
mod
fucking
did
banned.
was it activated the Arabic area version. Didn't do anything else. All it did was activate the Arabic flag.
We need to
They,
push this thing that will get people to believe that we have good PR. But don't put
yeah,
it in this version because that will actually give us bad PR.
yeah.
All right, well,
Right.
I'll just change like one value. Wait, don't. You have to make it more intrusive. Why? Some mod author decided to make it
Intrusive?
Yes.
What are you gonna hack my console?
Yes.
No, they're gonna add it as a kernel now. They're gonna add kernel access so they
They're gonna
can't
add Colonel
remove
K.
kernel K.
Colonel level gay.
Kernel
Yes.
access to prevent you from modding the pride flag.
Oh god. We implemented anti-cheat in our single-player game, so people couldn't modify the flags. Oh
So
god.
dumb.
I can see it happening.
I'm pretty sure it has happened in the past.
Not because of
Not
flags.
specifically for the flag reason.
Yeah, no. Not
No, it was because they didn't like people disabling the updates that nerfed all their shit.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure why in a single-player game we have to deal with balancing.
But my balance, it's not balanced. I don't care if it's balanced. I want to have fun.
Your
We've nerfed all of
CPU
these
will
options.
taste the rainbow.
Okay, I've added this mod in to fix your fix. What the fuck? No, you're not allowed that.
Well, fuck you.
Naruto Syndicate
Yes, I
of
am.
Shadow Book 1. In this dark retelling of Naruto. What?
Babby's first edgy Naruto fic.
Well, I mean, yes, but also no, because Naruto is dark as fuck.
It's hidden behind the funny and the Naruto being an idiot, but
Yeah,
the
it's
setting
hidden.
itself is dark, yes.
It's hidden behind Naruto being an idiot, sure, but it's like Naruto's first mission was Tazuna the Wave Bridge Builder, right? Just heavily implied that the entire island was basically being used as a punching bag, both sexual and physical, by Gato and his hired thugs. You know, women being raped, husbands being killed, children being orphaned
And raped.
and raped. And
Getting
Naruto,
raped.
and it's like, okay, well, maybe that was just in the background. Sure, they never showed any of that. Yeah, okay, fine. Naruto, in the opening sequence of the fucking arc, proceeds to take a kunai and gouge his hand open to bleed the deadly poison out of it because he didn't want to hold back his team from helping someone complete a mission.
That was pretty based.
And the
Yeah.
only reason why it wasn't a
And-
bigger deal was because the Kyuubi sealed the hand back up.
And keeping in mind that, by the way, this is a 13, 14-year-old teenager.
12,
doing
Yeah, this is a
13.
fucking child
These-
who's just like, oh,
this is
I've
a-
been poisoned and I might hold my team back. Takes out kunai, stabs
I'm
it
gonna-
into hand, proceeds to wedge it in there and
Yeah,
literally scar the fucking flesh out.
I'm gonna be honest, fanfiction authors who think Naruto's not dark. There's not much you can do to one up the fact that a keystone of the world economy relies on child soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to top the child soldiers.
Well, to go even further, fucking Haku dies. The culmination of the wave arc is, oh, we're going to introduce Haku as a relatable, understandable villain. And then they're going to fight, and Naruto's going to get through to him slash her. And then, oh yeah, Haku, it just fucking kills themselves, preventing Zabuza from dying to Kakashi's one-hit kill blow. And actually, Zabuza also dies anyway, taking out the real bad guy in the end, because he's been stabbed too many times by Kakashi and all the thugs.
So it
Which
was
is why
just
it's
all
kinda
kind of
dumb that-
pointless.
Oh yeah, this is not
Yes.
a dark story.
Which is why it's kind of dumb that everybody wants to do baby's first edgy Naruto story where it's going to be darker and edgier. It's like, motherfucker, it's already dark and edgy. You just got to look past, the bright orange wearing idiot.
Yeah, literally.
See, and then it's just like-
Sasuke's
It's so
entire
dark.
clan was massacred by his older brother,
his
who
brother.
proceeded to torture him for 72 hours straight, forcing him to re-watch his older brother murder his entire family and him.
Because otherwise,
The
the
ninja-
village would have all of them killed.
Yeah, it's a good
Because
thing that
Daddy was doing
Uchihas
some
are
shit.
just genetically built fucked up in the mental space.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like,
mental trauma
My
makes them
entire
stronger,
clan was
literally.
killed and everything is
Three-
awful. I hate
3
everything.
days-
The devious
3
orders
days,
jumpsuited ninja.
3 days straight of genjutsu related torture
Yeah.
would have reduced most ninjas in training.
It reduced
blubber
Kakashi
mess.
to a coma, and it wasn't even his trigger word.
So it actually awakened Sasuke's Sharingan at that time,
Yes.
but it was also so traumatic that he repressed it, and he couldn't get it up again until Haku
Yeah, but like,
incident.
okay, so here's the thing, right? Itachi used it against Kakashi, and he used it against Sasuke. Sasuke, he did 72 hours of murdering his family and then killing Sasuke. Kakashi was tied to a cross and stabbed a bunch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kakashi ended up in a near permanent coma and was only brought out of it because of Tsunade. It wasn't like, Kakashi got hit with all of the trauma buttons. It wasn't like Itachi rolled in and was like, here's 72 hours of you failing to save Rin. No, it was just, yeah, I'm going to stab you for 72 hours while you're tied to a cross.
You're stuck here with me. Yeah.
Yeah,
That particular arc was also great because it's like, oh shit, my guy might actually be a problem. Also,
But,
Asuma might be a problem because he took to that advice super quick of like, oh, just watch their feet. What do you mean watch their feet? How bullshit are you that you're reading body language off just the feet, my dude?
Very.
But yeah, it's just like, Naruto isn't dark. It's like, what the huh?
Like, hey, what about the whole thing where like children are essentially sacrificed to hold these tailed beasts? What about that part?
Yep.
I'm just fucking baffled. I am just absolutely baffled. Sasuke reawakens his Sharingan when he thinks the main character just died for him, and as far as we the viewers knew, Naruto didn't just fucking die. They just left us on that, thinking that Naruto was dead and Sasuke was actually the real main character the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
It
do
was
like
also
the fact that after Itachi. Go ahead.
No, I just realized, like, I'm wondering if Kishimoto's plans for how the Sharingan worked really did go that far back, because it took a traumatic emotional event for Sasuke Sharingan to actually like develop, which generally been the whole like, this is the power boost Sharingan users need if they want to get past like the 3 dots.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I think he just made it up as he went along.
Maybe. Or he's like, you know what, that was a pretty interesting way to do that and decided to run with it later on.
Could have been. No, the fact that Sasuke takes all the trauma buttons to the face and effectively gets back up and asks, "Is that all you got? You showed me that last time. You got anything new?"
He might be a little sociopathic by this point.
A little.
Just a little bit.
It
Smidge.
listen, Uchihas are just genetically built different in the headspace, and it's probably not a good thing.
No.
No, Jin. No, you have to keep it as Naruto because the whole point of Naruto was legacy. And so what you do to fake out people with Naruto being dead possibly in the first arc is you make Sasuke wear his jacket in the next cover of the next book.
Oh, that would have
Oh,
been so
God, that would do it. That would have been.
Yeah,
And
that would have
oh,
been
God,
that would have been amazing.
that would have been so great.
So it would have been like, yeah, Naruto's dead, but I'm gonna carry on his legacy. I'll become the Hokage for him, and
And then the last panel is just Naruto sucking in a breath. It's like, oh, he's back.
but yeah, no, like it. That the fucking I cannot fathom how people are like, yeah, Naruto isn't dark enough, and Shadow says canon Naruto is a light story in a dark setting, where the setting is bent by the main character and the focus on shonen escalation covers up the politics and morally gray areas. Yeah, you're not wrong,
You're not
but it's
wrong.
also like there's a lot of dark shit shown to us directly.
Naruto does a
Sai's
lot of
whole
shit
thing,
himself.
like everything about Sai, that was shown to us directly. That wasn't implied.
Kabuto.
The existence of Root itself.
The fucking
Like-
they showed
Fucking
Orochimaru just gank those three people, just fucking left their corpses rotting in a field.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
Using corpses to resurrect people.
Well, that's implied because the characters never show up again, and then later on, it's like, yeah, he used those fucking sound ninjas that Naruto fought to do that. Like, but like that's like a low key reveal. That wasn't like just blatantly shown to us. Oh, Neji going for a kill shot on Hinata
Oh,
and
yeah,
having to be
bullshit.
restrained by multiple adults.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that.
Rock Lee having his whole moment where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna show the world I can be the best with only taijutsu. And then Gar's just like lol Lamau, not without legs and arms. And it's just like, oh, fucking
It
Jesus.
it also leads to a scene that pretty much cements that Rock Lee should have been the actual star of Naruto, where they're like, holy
Yeah.
shit, he's still up. Oh damn, he's passed out. God damn, this kid's passed out and he still wants to fight.
Yeah. It's just like the fucking the sound, not the sound 4 because that's a different group. The sound 3, whatever the fuck they called themselves. The three idiots, the three stooges that show up, who just blatantly, openly were like, yeah, we're here to like kill and or rape you.
You
We
mean
don't-
the ones in the exam?
Yeah, during the exam when they showed up after Sasuke got bitten and Naruto was taken out by Orochimaru.
Yeah,
those guys.
and it was just that was
The-
supposed to be Sakura's big.
Sakura.
Yeah, the sound
Big
3
moment.
just kind of showed up and we're like, yeah, we're implied we're gonna rape you, but blatantly we're just gonna fucking murder you. Like
The fact that even in Konoha, which is arguably the most peaceful of the villages in terms of how they run things, we're
Yeah,
still
the
like
slave
if you
seal-
die if you die in this exam and another team kills you, you're shit out of luck.
yeah. Yeah, the whole slave seal thing with the Hyuga family, yeah. The father sacrificing himself, yeah, like
Oh,
Neji's dad, yeah.
I'm sorry, but like Naruto's not dark?
there's a lot of dark stuff that just doesn't get a like that doesn't mean it's not dark. It just doesn't get the focus. Like
It's because of Naruto, again, himself taking center stage, being this bright, happy, orange-wearing little idiot. Yeah.
Conveniently forgetting what his backstory.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
We're just
the
gonna
abandoned
ignore that
lonely
part
orphan
too.
child.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, the show literally opens with a authority figure tricking Naruto into committing terrorism and treason.
Well, I'm
First
just referring to the
image
fact.
shows Naruto sitting on a
I'm referring to the fact, like,
fucking.
the opening panel is the Nine Tails wrecking the village,
Oh yeah, that
and
too, yeah.
and at least one confirmed death that evening, sealing the Nine Tails away into a child, and the child's mother being nowhere to be found. Like,
Yeah.
just that alone is already like, no, this is plenty dark, dude. You're just not looking for some reason.
Orochimaru's labs being full of bodies with his whole backstory. Yeah, again, that's implied. That's like, yeah, it's told to us, but it's not on the screen, so a lot of people don't really like absorb it and incorporate that. I'm using examples that were literally on the screen. Shit, you cannot say, oh, I just didn't.
Mm.
I don't remember that part.
Orochimaru's lab bodies did show up on the screen.
They did?
Because that was a flashback to
I didn't-
Saratobi, like, I should have killed him that day. And it's him
Oh.
literally dissecting a corpse with a couple others in the background.
Then
Ah,
there's
yes,
the actual
that
first ending
the fucking swing. That
Yeah, the
stupid.
when
fucking
she was
swing.
as a kid doing that.
Yeah.
You know, when is that swing going to be playable in a Naruto game?
Swing Naruto. But yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry, Naruto isn't dark. Like, bro, did we read the same story?
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
But yeah, Naruto grows up in a village that looks at him with scorn and distrust. So canon.
So canon.
With no one to rely on, effectively canon.
Canon.
He quickly learns the harsh realities of survival. Canon. Despite
Oh, is this
desperate-
gonna be one of those the village beats and rapes him during the
maybe.
festival thing?
desperate to escape poverty, and he's not impoverished, and the cold stares of the village. No, he's literally not impoverished. He is given
So
an apartment and enough money to afford food.
he has an apartment and he has the stipend for the food, yes, but it's also heavily implied and even shown a few times that the villagers just blatantly rip him off anytime he goes
No,
to
they
buy
never
something.
show that or say
I'm
that.
pretty sure that's implied.
No, well, it's implied, sure, but it's never shown or said. And the
I could have
the
sworn that was in the
main
manga.
source of the fanon explanation for that is that Naruto drank expired milk, when quite literally it was just Naruto forgot the milk was expired.
Yeah, pretty
Also,
much.
he only eats ramen.
Him only eating ramen is because he's probably, I don't know, a fucking child, and putting putting noodles into hot broth is pretty fucking
Well,
easy.
it's also his favorite food. And because he doesn't have anyone telling him how to spend whatever stipend he gets from the Hokage living on his own apartment, of course he's going to buy his favorite food. What child wouldn't?
Yeah. And you could be
Mm.
like, and again, a lot of that reasoning comes from fanon of Naruto's favorite food is ramen, because when Naruto
Because
was
it's
starving
cheap.
on the street, eating food out of a dumpster, Ayame was like, here, Naruto, have a free bowl of ramen. And then because he's a kid, that free bowl of ramen made it his favorite food ever because he felt happy upon eating it. And it's
But
like,
that's
okay,
never actually shown.
that's never shown, it's never said, and actually it's heavily implied that all Uzumaki are obsessed with ramen.
Yeah, it again, one of those weird things where for some reason a completely inconspicuous trait is genetic in the world of Naruto.
Yeah. So it's just like, I'm sorry, but a lot of the shit in fanon is just fanon and has no actual grounds in canon beyond really, really schizophrenic dream divination source telling. Um, he had now again. Should there have been someone helping him manage his funds from the village to properly buy food and take care of his apartment? Yes. But there wasn't, and he's like a fucking 6 to 8 year old kid given an apartment and a bunch of money. He doesn't understand the concept of money. He probably spent it all doing stupid shit. In fact, we see him with a shit ton of prank materials, and we're told he's constantly pranking people and all of the fucking villagers and the store owners that don't treat him right. But again, this is from the perspective of Naruto, a kid, so them not treating him right can be anything from them saying, no, you can't buy all of our cabbages. Or, no, kid, I won't take an IOU from you with a promise of you'll bring the money next time. You gotta pay me now. And Naruto then swears eternal vengeance on them because he's a fucking child and doesn't understand why a shop owner wouldn't just take an 8-year-old's word that they'll definitely bring an entire person's weekly allowance of spending next time when they come to purchase things.
Pretty much, probably the whole of Naruto's training during the Shippuden time skip was probably, here's how money works.
It might have been, actually. Yeah.
Jiraiya is probably the worst teacher of that time.
It's people blow shit completely out of proportion. Now, the adults definitely were in a cabal to make the kids not interact with Naruto. 100%, not even a question. And I'm not even going to say Fanon's right on that. It's literally canon.
Literally, there was someone who wanted to make sure Naruto was always miserable.
No, not even always miserable.
Yep.
They literally, it wasn't even a case of the adults being like, okay, child, don't talk to this kid. It was the adults didn't like the kid, did actions that were passive against the child, such as ignoring the child, glaring at the child, etc.
Yeah.
Very passive actions, and then their kid looking at their parent not liking that kid, and them, in their kid mind, imprinting this upon themselves, going, that kid is bad, we shouldn't hang out with him. Because they're kids, and they take cues from their parents without the parent needing to say anything.
Yeah. Which also explains, because, there was also some filler arc that Kishimoto did work on, and I think in the last Naruto the movie, the ninja kids, the ones who came from established clans, treating Naruto as a friend and also the class clown because came from a
Yep.
clan. The ninjas know what the deal is. Yeah, I feel bad for the kid. There's no reason to be mean to him, but I'm busy training my own kid to take over anyway, so
Well,
they're working out
it's not only that,
they're working out
right?
between themselves.
He
That's
hung
what
out with
happened.
Shikamaru and Choji and Kiba to a certain
Yeah.
extent, but he wasn't friends with them because Naruto didn't understand what being friends with people was beyond, oh, I hang out with them. And so he didn't do shit like go over to their homes, do actions outside of go to school with them. They were school friends because they were the close proximity and they didn't have anything against them. And so they were just friends because they had a lot of time that they were going to spend together. And Naruto, not understanding how friendship works, just assumed, that's all you do. And so immediately once school ended, he would be racing off to do whatever fucking thing came to his mind, and so he never formed beyond school level friendships with the rest of the Rookie Nine. But for Naruto, that was enough, and he was like, they're my friends. And all the Rookie Nine, who are just all happened, besides Sakura, happened to be fucking clan kids, were like, hey, we don't have to put any effort in, and the really important kid says we're his friends. This is a win-win.
Except Hinata,
Well, I mean, Hinata was fine
who
with
was too
Naruto
busy
breathing in
staring
her
at him.
general direction, so
Yes. Anything was good enough for Hinata.
yeah. So it's I. Is yeah. Anyway, point being, Naruto wasn't in poverty because again, Naruto can't be in poverty. He doesn't have a fucking job yet, and he's not homeless, and all of his food is paid for by the state, which I believe that would put a child above the poverty line. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe a child that doesn't have to
Ish.
pay taxes, doesn't have to pay rent, as far as we're aware.
Yeah. It may even be that there's some sort of program in place that orphans going through ninja training get taken care of as long as they actually get through the school system.
I believe Tenten might have had that. I'm not sure.
Yes, I think so.
Fanon, I don't
Also,
remember. I know,
Naruto probably had a really abrasive personality as a child, so all the other clan kids didn't really put too much effort in to stick around with him beyond a base level school friendship. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
no, he wasn't abrasive. He was
No, he
brash,
was
but not.
absolutely abrasive. No. So it's really easy. His childhood displays of behavior, really easy to dissect. A large majority of civilian kids kind of just treated him as the weird one because their parents treated him as the weird one. So Naruto, being a child, wanting to be noticed, proceeds to be loud and obnoxious, possibly pull a prank, possibly just,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
be
not really
boisterous.
abrasive. Like, you're abrasive. Naruto was an obnoxious little shit. There's a difference.
Okay, yeah.
Abrasive is being actively, like, aggressive, maybe somewhat hostile. Naruto was never really hostile to anyone who didn't start shit with him first, aside from Sasuke. And that was more of like delusions of grandeur that he'd make Sasuke his rival.
Okay, yeah. Harsh and rough. That's fair. An unpleasant personality. Okay, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe not abrasive, because I was just thinking more abrasive in the relational sense of just Naruto had a personality that made it difficult for children to want to be his friend
Yeah,
because he was
that I
He rubbed
loud,
agree
people
with.
the
he
wrong
was
way.
obnoxious, he didn't want to do things that other people wanted to do. He wanted to do things that he thought was cool, which was, ninja stuff. Um, what he thought ninja stuff was. Um, and he didn't really have to fix.
Well, there goes sign.
He didn't really know how to express this either to people, and so the few times we do have him saying and doing things as a kid, it wasn't like, "Hey, do you want to go do this?" It was, "Hey, we're gonna go do this now." To a person he just met,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
yeah, so
There's also the fact that, like, I think another thing, one that you can put towards like Naruto is actually darker than people want to give it credit for, and
yeah,
the whole like not really getting the whole friendship thing and all that is he never came to terms with the fact that he didn't have anyone to go back home to,
oh yeah, true,
but the other kids did, which is part of why they couldn't stay out as late as he normally would.
yeah,
So I remember that being another thing of like, oh yeah, no, this kid stayed out like late hours past sunset
yeah,
sometimes because he didn't have anyone to go back home to, and he's living on his own and his apartment's clean enough for him, so what's it matter?
yeah. But yeah, so anyway, escape the cold stare of the village. To escape the cold stares, Naruto turns to a life of crime
To
as a
escape
child
the cold stairs, he.
in a ninja village,
Why would
finding
Naruto?
camaraderie in the Black Dog Family Syndicate, a shadowy organization that becomes his true family.
Is this a
Uh,
crossover or
no, I hope not. Um,
25 chapters, not a single review? When did what's the published date? Nose is
2 days ago,
actually like 2 days. I wonder if this is a re-upload.
might be. But yeah, I mean 6 favorites. That's not great.
Yeah, I don't. Naruto has
Yeah.
no reason to turn to crime.
Well, not only does he not have any reason to turn to crime, I'm sure any crime family that tried to recruit Naruto would find them with a sudden case of passing away syndrome,
Courtesy of Root.
courtesy of Root, courtesy of the Anbu, courtesy of Kakashi, courtesy
Uh,
of the third Hokage.
I am 90% certain that any crime family that's like, we're gonna set up in a ninja village, gets a visit within the first hour from any number of high-ranking officials. Like, hey, so how stupid do you think we are? Because the crimes, the few syndicates we might see in filler arcs and shit. The one crime syndicate we definitely see doesn't go anywhere near ninja villages.
Yeah.
It was the whole
Well, I
point of
mean,
them
not only
taking
that,
over the village in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in the first major arc.
any crime family that would show up in a ninja village would A, basically have to show up and be like, we bow to you, ninja overlords. Here is our tribute. We would like to take over the following blocks and run it. And then the ninja village would be like, okay, yeah, here's the following rules. You can't hurt anyone. If you do, we break your legs. Um, you can only extort them up until this point, according to these graphs of their economic status. If they're above this economic status, you can't even talk to them in a bad manner or extort them. You'll provide the following services to them. You can charge them for these services, but they must be on this graph of costs. like,
Yeah, it's all just. It's not a question of, will we let you stay or not? It's a question of how much you're willing to submit to the fact that we already control the crime rate.
yeah.
Assuming there is any in a major ninja village beyond like
Oh,
very petty shoplifting.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's a petty level amount of shoplifting, and if there is any drugs or illicit materials going around, it's already being circulated by said ninjas for the sole purpose of extracting more money from the civilian population by making them buy things that the civilian population thinks are banned.
Or they're using it to.
Root out people trying to do that exact thing.
Yeah, like, keep in mind, every time we see a major crime organization, they are way the fuck away from any major village outside of their, like,
Yeah,
range of control. And the one time we see a ninja go to a big organization, we see Asuma go to a bounty hunter's morgue to
yeah,
put in, so report a couple marks and hand the corpses. Like,
yeah.
even the ones that are in charge that would be considered generally neutral do not keep offices in the major villages from that alone. Like, no one wants to deal with the power conflicts that occur from that.
Yeah, and also it's like, even then, it's like Asuma only turned the corpses in to the bounty office instead of the ninja village because they probably didn't have they probably didn't have stuff that the ninja village thought they could extract from the corpses, in terms of like DNA and and the techniques and shit, bone
Yeah.
structure and whatnot. And so it was like, okay, well, we're just gonna pay you like the standard rate for killing X Nin. You technically have trophy rights to the body. We're not gonna get anything out of the body, so we're not gonna seize it from you. And so you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go turn it into the bounty office then for the big bounty on.
Yeah. Well, and keep in mind, like the bounties are all in a little book that are just distributed to Jonin and Chunin and like, well, Asuna was Jonin, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Johnny.
Either way, there's a bingo book that
Yeah.
you can get your hands on. It's free to any ninja from any nation. Like there's a centralized power structure here somewhere that they all agree, like, if they're in this book, we're not going to harbor them in a manner that you can figure it out. And if you do find out we were harboring them, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the few things the villages seem keen on being completely neutral on with each other.
Well, I mean, it benefits everyone for there to be a book that going around because if say like the Lightning Village was like, "Oh fuck you, you can't do the book," and then from then on, the only books that get distributed to the Lightning, like the Lightning doesn't get their books anymore, and the bounty books mysteriously have more details about Lightning Ninja now. Like it's just a benefit for them to let the bounty book thing go. Um, it's knowledge they don't have to gather themselves. It's a target they don't have to paint themselves. They can work through third-party intermediaries to increase the bounty if they really want someone dead. A whole bunch of things, and it just works out for them. It's like it's like crime syndicate moving into a ninja village thing. It's like if they wanted to take over this section of the ninja village and turn it into a red light district, it would be done under the full blessings and watch of the ninja village, and the ninja village will just use it as another source of revenue, carefully monitored and controlled because it's a military dictatorship, and the crime family will only get to stay a crime family so long as they listen to every single rule the Ninja Village says, because otherwise they all get fucking ganked. And it just becomes one less area the Ninja Village has to directly monitor. And well, they still have to monitor it, directly manage. It's like that frees up labor. So now we can just have one person monitoring the area and make sure the crime family's doing what they say, instead of like needing people to watch over the area and provide services. Delegation.
Yeah.
I remember one fic
Only
made
the
a
greatest
comment.
power of any crime family: delegation.
True. I remember one fic made a comment that the bingo book also served as a representation of the quality of notable ninja a village made for good or ill. Yeah. I mean, look, they do the Chunin exams, and they basically show off all of their new Chunin to be like, hey, we're so really cool. Look at our Chunin. They're being cool. You should come, give missions to our village. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just another avenue for them. Yeah. Hey, don't fuck with our village. We have a shit ton of people in the bingo book. They're all really strong.
Yeah. And these are the people running away from us.
Yeah.
The tuning exam is like, these are the people we're currently training that hopefully won't run away.
But yeah, so I'm sorry. This is so unrealistic. And yeah, unrealistic for Naruto. It just doesn't make any sense. It's exaggerated. The author clearly doesn't understand source material as per usual. Yeah, I know. But like, it finally, for once, it's not generic power fantasy number 92 or large harem power fantasy number 7929. But it's trying to be its own original story in the Naruto section, and yet the author clearly, blatantly, still doesn't understand Naruto. And I opened it up and I did a quick scroll, and it's just like they fuck up paragraphing, they fuck up dialogue, they fuck up grammar, um, they fuck up how everything works. The third Hokage gave him an apartment, if you could call it that, because it was barely more than a crumbling box with cracked walls and a leaking roof. So
It's
the author is just going out of their way to make it arbitrarily darker for no clear reason. Like, we're entering grimderp levels of stupid.
Why is this character the way they are? Oh, because we said so. Why?
And
Grimdark.
I love that. Can barely call it apartment. Meanwhile, the apartment in question is like 3 times the average living space in a large city like New York City or Los
Yeah.
Angeles, and is in better condition
Yeah,
than
there's no leaks. He doesn't have
probably a
utility
third.
issues.
Rest of
He's got a lot of space for an apartment in a city, which likely has a lot of we're still in the wall era, which means space is a premium, and you're a civilian in a city, which means if you do have a house, that means you're fucking rich as shit. If you're probably living in some sort of apartment complex, and because of that, space is a premium. So there's probably a lot of civilians with one room apartments. Naruto has 4 rooms.
Yeah, he's easily got like minimum 3 rooms.
Well, I count the bathroom as a room
Oh, I'm counting the bathroom as that.
because he's
Like,
got a
hey,
bedroom, he's got a living room, he's got a bathroom, and he's got a kitchen.
I don't know about a living room, but he's definitely got the bedroom and
No,
kitchen. Like,
they
no,
showed
it
him
could be
having
open
a
concept.
they showed him having a couch and TV.
Oh, then
It's
yeah,
in
4
it's in the
bedroom.
game.
4 room then.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like kids living pretty good, and the worst thing you can say is the building looks old. It's the worst thing you can say about it. Also, the cracked wall thing is like, I don't know, that seems to just be like a general like aesthetic for Konoha for some reason, because it's not the only building that people
The first Hokage
frequent
really liked
that
the
has
aesthetic of
cracked.
I
Fallout.
mean, it might have been a post Kyuubi aesthetic, sort of like a never forget thing. I don't know.
But yeah, there's a good chance they're like, it's structurally sound, just leave it be. We literally have other shit we need to rebuild.
Yeah. I mean, also, keep in mind, most of these buildings are probably built by ninja using earth. So, I mean, laying pipe and laying electrical cable is probably really easy when you can phase shift your hand into the wall.
Yeah, that seems like a fair assumption.
Yeah.
It's like, we gotta lay these cables. Okay, cool. I'll just shift that earth for you then. Great, thanks.
Yeah. So, they could probably fix that shit if they wanted to, but they don't, so it's whatever. And also, cracked wall, Naruto could have put that crack in the wall, man. Maybe he was testing something. A lot of his
But
shit
did you
fucking
take a picture of the
explodes.
wall before you entered the building?
Yeah, right. But it's just like, this is just like arbitrarily darker for no reason. Like we listed so much shit in the series that's already dark. It's just the dude just to be like, yeah, I am completely blind. I don't know how to see. I ignored Naruto canon, because I think my story should be darker, and it being just arbitrarily darker for no clear reason. That explains why Naruto became part of a crime family in Konoha. Jiraiya the Sage would like to know your location. Yeah, it just makes no
Oh,
fucking sense.
oh yeah, no. I think if I heard about it, it's like, all right, you know what? I was gonna keep wandering around being a deadbeat godfather, but I'm pretty sure Minato would come back from the dead to actually kill me this time
Yeah.
if
Sick
I let Naruto join a crime syndicate.
yeah.
Fucking Minato just comes back. Minato just comes back from the grave specifically to tell you you fucked up.
Also, yeah, Naruto, the Kyuubi container. Yeah. We're just gonna let him have loyalties to a crime syndicate instead of the village. Said no one fucking ever.
What
Yes,
could
we
go
will
wrong?
let the walking nuclear weapon work in a crime syndicate. Excuse you?
Like, part of your ninja application is literally swearing to serve and die for the village,
Yep.
which you can't do if you're loyal to the crime family over the village. So no one ever would let that even be a question. Like like this isn't a case of like say so for some reason they just let the crime family have Naruto for years because they're arbitrarily evil and decided to put the living nuclear bomb in the worst apartment possible. Okay, fine. Say
Well,
that's how it goes.
given our current attitudes towards nuclear power, I don't know.
Say how that is go. Say theoretically the author's right. Okay, fine. He's given a literal poverty apartment and finds his way with the crime family and goes on to become a ninja. Okay, then he shows up for the swearing thing. Do you swear to the village? Yeah, I do. Okay, great. Here's your new home address. What happened to my old home? We killed the crime family. Why? We're arbitrarily evil. Also, we can't have you having mixed loyalties, so we took care of that part for you. Now
Yeah,
you can only be loyal to us. Because
that do
again,
be
we're
how that would
arbitrarily
go.
evil. Yeah, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you think they're gonna
Yeah,
let them live?
it really is fucked up, by the way. Like, up until Shippuden, we only got to see how two villages handled their tailed beasts. Like Naruto was just kind of sort of ostracized, and Gaara was ostracized because he had the craziest tailed beast for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
Boy, Shukaku's whole thing sure fell by the wayside, huh?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I found out that all the other villagers, like, actually, we treat them pretty well. At the very least, we don't go out of our way to abuse them or exile them. It's like, damn. I think Fu was the only other tailed beast that might have had an issue.
No, I mean, Lightning fucked Yukito up pretty hard.
No, they didn't.
Pretty sure they did.
No, Yukito was fine.
I'm pretty sure she spent her entire childhood being told and taught that she was a weapon for the village, and that she had no existence beyond being a weapon for the village.
Or where that info's coming from then.
The Naruto Book of Lore. Yukito and B were considered protectors. Well, I know they were considered protectors. That doesn't change her childhood being kind of fucked up.
I think Fu was given that treatment. Like
No,
lightning.
Fu was just shit on. Fu was just openly shit on. To the point where the only person nice to her in the entire village was the Hokage.
I feel like you're pulling the Yu-Gi-Oh thing from a well-written fan fiction or something.
I'm seeing nothing really about
I
Yu-Gi-Oh's
don't remember
past.
that. I don't remember that being a thing with her at all.
Like, I'm looking on the wiki, and there's like she
Yeah,
was
I'm
made
going
the
through it. Yeah, abilities. Okay.
Fu was taken actually taken pretty good care of. Might have been fan fiction.
I mean,
Ooh,
isn't Fu in general just I mean, yeah, I know Fu existed, but isn't her whole arc fucking filler?
Yeah, she was shown in filler in the series. But
yeah, we don't see much about Fu aside from
as
the
far as
village.
mainline stuff goes, she
The
only appeared to be summoned as a what was it, the Edo Tensei Jinchurikis.
yeah. At the end of a detestable training program.
Oh, so I'm not crazy.
I mean, you kind of are because she wasn't raised to be a weapon. The training program was to control the tailed beast. What the fuck is the Shana Sh? What? Get this fucking shit out of here! Literally, the book in question is Sha no Show. Get out of here. Fuck you.
The Secret of People Character Official Data Book. Okay,
You know what I hate the most about the data books?
what's that?
I'm pretty sure that the longer the story went, the more the data books were retconning each other.
Yeah, probably.
It is the
Tendon
third
said
of
one was rendered a non-canon, so there's that probably what you said is probably far truer.
Uh, anyway, point being is they did a training program on a fucking 2-year-old, so
yes. Uh, Honestly, I think the fact that they're like, we will stick a tailed beast in a 2-year-old was already kind of fucked.
yeah.
But like the training program seems to be the worst thing, and it definitely was intended to teach them to not go ballistic.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of an important part of having a walking nuke in your town is the walking nuke not going off.
Yeah. And then I think Rock just didn't bother their tailed beasts because the tailed beasts were grown ass adults by the time we see them, and it was like, if you come near me, I will obliterate the village.
Yeah, the both of
They
them
just kind
kind
of
of
left each other
walked off
alone.
and were like, "Hey, we're still Rock Shinobi, but fuck off." And so Rock was like, "Okay."
Yeah, you know what? We won't make the nukes angry. Not when there's two of them.
But yeah, so I mean, it just it's what I always really hated about these sorts of Naruto stories that are like, oh, we're just gonna make the fucking village government evil, but Naruto's gonna find a hooker with a heart of gold, and she's gonna adopt him, and then reveal knowledge to him, and then he's gonna, fucking go on an adventure and become super strong. And it's like, I'm sorry, you made the government and the people around Naruto arbitrarily evil to the nth degree, and for some reason they're not gonna kill this random hooker that Naruto is showing greater loyalty to than the village that you made arbitrarily evil.
Well, and to make them arbitrarily evil and have it fit his story, he also has to make them disproportionately incompetent.
Well, yes, of course, obviously. Yeah, that's true. But it's just like, I hate that shit so much. It's like, yeah, we're gonna be a village where we preach about friendship and saving the next generation, and we're gonna have a nuke, the biggest nuke actually, the largest nuke everyone else. We have the biggest one. It can 1v8 everyone else and win. Yeah, this nuke of ours, we're going to abuse it. We're actually just gonna like kick the shit out of him every single week, and then every year, we're gonna rape him, and then we're gonna make sure to burn down his apartment at least 3 times, and make sure that the apartment he does get is one made of dust and good thoughts. And then whenever he finally does find friends and a found family, we're gonna leave him alone. Unless we need to be arbitrarily evil so he can have a whole scene where he dunks on us, killing, half the village and in his rage or some shit. Yeah, it's just I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so lame. It doesn't need to be there. It doesn't. But let's keep going. Naruto, Diary of Minato. Part of Naruto My Sister series. What do you mean, my sister? I am a girl. Oh, okay. My top 4 anime: Naruto, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, and Rising of Shield Hero. That's a questionable list. That's Naruto times Fem Sasuke, Smut. Um, what if Naruto was smarter and then that let him meet the Kyuubi earlier? What if Kyuubi was nicer to Naruto as a result? What if that caused Naruto to change as a result? What if that caused Naruto to be stronger, and what will he change further? Read this story to find out. Jeez. Okay. That's just cool. Yeah. No. Um, The Diary of Namikaze Minato. Diary of Minato. Read his story. I'll cover canon first, and then I'll do alternate universe stuff. Um, what? Legacy of the Flash. Minato wants to be with his son so badly that he fuses his soul with Naruto's. Now he is willing to do whatever it takes to make Naruto happy. What? My Sister Book 1. Naruto was born with a twin sister. Only Naruto was killed by the Kyuubi, so she is made into Jinchuriki instead. Namikaze Uzumaki Ryura, or known to Konoha as Uzumaki Ryura, is not like Naruto. She is very much the smarter than him, and is more like her father. And the Sandime realizes that he has another prodigy, and does his best to help her. Like Naruto was, because he fucking was. Bro literally just. He's shonen protagonist all over the place. Read how she grows and makes friends and forms connections. Original character times Yagura. Yagura. Is that
Isn't
that the
that the
illusion
Mizukage?
girl?
I thought it was the Mizukage.
No.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah. That
Yakumo.
is the Mizukage. Yeah. How about that?
yeah. I
He's the turtle guy.
Yeah.
Turtle. One of the first characters that had the weird 180 degree tracking problem that was introduced in Naruto Revolution.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Running from the coral line? Because
Yeah.
that's what we wanted.
I'll never forgive them for allowing you to use 3 substitutes to get out of a single Itachi Amaterasu, and it
No, no, it wasn't.
chases you through all 3. That is
Never
so
mind
dog
that.
shit.
The fact that you can run the flame and the infinity symbol twice.
Yeah, that too.
Because it lasted so long.
That was such
Revolu-
bullshit.
Revolution was just like, what if we just stop balancing the game? It's like, oh god. Oh god. Revolution
Revolution
was
had
such
everything was
a
so arbitrarily balanced. It wasn't even like Sparkling Zero, where characters like Mr. Satan were weak, and Giant Ape Vegeta were super strong and just did arbitrarily more and less damage. Sorry, less and more damage respectively. Uh, Naruto Revelations had this problem where each developer apparently just picked the one character, and they just balanced that character however they felt that character should be balanced, with no relation to
yeah,
lore or anything at all.
like
It was just
I
how
mean,
that developer felt about that
like
character was how that
mm,
character got balanced.
like
you
making
joke, but
Naruto's
Mr.
wrestling
Satan was
gone being
fucking nerfed because he was too
absurd.
strong, apparently.
Yeah, well,
I
that's
like
because
the
Mr. Satan
same.
had the Naruto problem, but yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, Sparking Zero is also not meant to be a balanced fighting game. It's meant to be more
No, no.
accurate.
Mr. Satan had a castable ability whose charge time and cast time was the same amount of time it took for you to recover. So he could hit you with it, cause you to fall over, charge it up, and then hit you with it again the second you stood back up. And he could just chain
You
you
Kind of
like
prison
that
for you.
till you
you
lost.
must be talking about one of the older Budokai Tenkaichi
Oh
games.
no, this is Zero.
Yeah,
Zero
Sparkling
had the
Zero. Mr. Satan,
present
Sparkling Zero.
present bomb was actually nerfed
Yeah.
because it was too oppressive.
Oh,
It was quite
okay then.
literally the Kid Naruto situation all over again.
But yeah, Revolution's balancing was kind of dog shit.
It was all over the fucking place. It wasn't even like, oh, this version of Itachi's stronger because he's older or stronger or better. It was just like, I like this version of Itachi, so he's going to be arbitrarily better than all other Itachi versions. It's like, oh. Oh, okay. Alright.
I was- yeah, let's just give him Amaterasu. Okay, that's pretty standard, and we're gonna. I think they double or tripled its its life. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you let that happen?
Yeah.
You know, 4 did a good job balancing everything, and then Connections came out. It's like, okay, things are still mostly balanced because they kept a lot of the stuff over from 4. And then we started getting DLC characters. Like, okay, these guys are cracked in really weird ways. I'm still I'm always gonna keep the full arena throw in my back pocket now. Because that's
Yeah.
so stupid. I know. I can see you're all the way on the other end of the field playing Daedara. I don't care.
But anyway, yeah, so, the author blatantly self-inserts into Naruto as a better, faster, stronger, brighter, more well-liked female Naruto. Big shock. And they proceed to get into a relationship with, of course, because this is a female author, not only a child-like character, but someone who could literally fucking kill them. Not a big shock.
Woo!
It has good reason to, because they're mind controlled.
Yeah, but of course they'll just figure that out or something. I don't know. After Naruto brought Sasuke back, he remained in the village, only to leave on a mission he didn't know how long it would take. He returns 4 4s later, only for a new threat to arise, how he will find and beat them. Naruto times Hinata times Sakura. Dog shit story immediately.
Yeah.
Sakura's in this story. It's dog shit.
Naruto, handsome man next door. What? Excuse me, do you need a hand with that? You turned at sound of a voice straining to look over pile of boxes you were carrying. If you're straining to look over a pile of boxes you're carrying, then you're also not straining to lift them. If you're straining to lift them, you're definitely not carrying more than you can see over. Or if you are doing that thing, I can very much assure you that in not too long of a time, gravity will reassess the location of said object. When a second never came, when the sound never came, you managed to look around your armful of boxes to find handsome man looking back at you. That's right. This is a girl being hit on by cop. Oh, sorry. Girl who is cop. No cops. That's a different story. My bad. Girl being hit on by guy. Certainly nothing to do with the author's sex at all. Definitely not. Don't go ask questions. Legacy Shippuden, sequel to Legacy Flash. This is the ending chapter of Naruto's life. Then why bother making a separate story? If you're just gonna have the sequel story be Naruto dabs on everyone and they all die, why make that a separate story? Killionaire says, author, your concept of dark is the equivalent of wearing shades during an overcast day. Yeah.
Well, some people like to wear their sunglasses at night.
They're also they're also listening to a soundtrack of Crawling in My Crawl. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, no one cares. Coming soon. Naruto is born blind with 4 parents.
Huh?
Why? Did he grab too many
What?
chromosomes on the way out? He's got his brothers, Itachi and Susuke. Read to learn how he grows as blind child, and he is not the Jinchuriki. Naruto times Kurosuchi or Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay. I can only imagine this set of circumstances occurring. Because I don't know. My Sister Book 2, The Demon Lands. Myself, insert OC, who's really strong, pretty, and powerful that everyone likes, is summoned to the Demon Lands by a summoning contract. And she meets new people and demons. Read this book to find out how that works.
No.
Naruto, My Sister Book 2.5. Read about Sakura, Sasuke, and self-insert OC's training experience. My Sister Book 3. Rayura, the self-insert OC, comes back to village after 3 years. After being away for so long, as well as other things, they take on missions, and eventually people realize that there's black holes sitting in the sky. Took them 3 years to realize this, apparently.
Well, somebody should get on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I can't see that really being all that big a deal in the Naruto verse where space-time ninjutsu and sealing techniques are a thing. So
Yeah.
I feel like they may be um ripping an idea from something they watched or read.
Yeah. Probably. Who knows? Lame. Book 3 of Four Shinobi War, Destruction of Suki. Sister Book 4, time stops at the end of the Fourth Shinobi War, and Rakuto Senin sends her to a different dimension where her brother is alive and with triplets of younger siblings. And the sage gives her a task to save the neglected Naruto from his abusive living Kushina and Minato parents, because he only has the body of the Kyuubi sealed into him and not the yin yang or spirit.
This just gets worse and worse.
Book 5, different dimension. And then a self-insert OC who's really cool and everyone loves is then sent into another dimension. One where Naruto was abandoned by his parents, especially Kushina, after the Kyuubi attacks in turn for his siblings. So he's sent into... So he saves one abandoned Naruto, and then he saves another abandoned Naruto. Oh my... Wow, definitely not recycling plot at this point. Rayura isn't sent into another, again, with all these triplets. I feel bad for my mom. She then adopts more Narutos. My sister, Itachi and Kusuchi. Itachi and Kusuchi are forced into a political marriage. Kusuchi dislikes this after self-insert does things. She makes it her personal mission. Then she eventually realizes that she loves Itachi, and she can't go through with her personal mission because she loves him. Yeah. Okay, so this author is delusional. Cool. Yay.
That's putting it politely.
In this Naruto AU, Naruto is stoic and disciplined, and he's really good at swords and katanas. He is Naruto the Rogue Demon.
What is it with everyone and wanting people to be rogue demons?
Cause it's a pretty generic, easy way to sound cool.
And clearly,
Yeah.
we must bring back Christ.
Again, I stand alone. I am on the precipice, the peak, where my name, Sneaky Devil, was not granted to me by me because I thought it was cool. It was granted to me by people I played with because I made excessive use of stealth and frustrated them very often with it. So they called me a Sneaky Devil. And I said, that sounds like a cool name. And if everyone's calling me Sneaky Devil already, I might as well just be Sneaky Devil.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. Over 20 years ago. 23 years ago, actually.
2001.
Yes.
There was not a third number added to the count.
Huh?
Non-zero number, that is,
Huh?
for the year.
Dangerous in a skirt. When you think cross-dresser, you probably think of girly shit. But that's not what crossdresser means. Sasuke didn't want to look like a girl. He wanted to look like a hot guy in girl clothes, like his friend Deidara, because Sasuke was the head cheerleader and he wanted to have Naruto's dick up his ass.
Least.
A Naruto times Sasuke story. Neji and Gaara also have sex. Well, okay, I think I'm done for tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm surprised that we've gone on this long, genuinely.
It's
Why?
only
It's
been
9
2
o'clock.
hours.
It's only been 2
The amount
hours.
of the amount of garbage we've had is
We
a
have
lot.
had worse.
This is getting dull. Damn. Yeah. No shit, LeMay. Me and you both.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, this is dull. Yeah, we're done.
It's not even the quote fun and unique shit.
These are just bad.
They're they're dull, they're generic, and they're just okay, we've seen this 20 times before, minimum.
It's pretty hot garbage. Yeah, I know. It's the front page. To be fair, pretty much all of the good authors have moved off of FFN at this point.
Yeah.
It's no depth of the landfill. It's the fresh trash on top. It
Yeah.
hasn't rotted yet. But yeah, pretty much all of the good authors have moved off of FFN. I mean, it's just the way it is, you know. Yeah, see you,
There.
LeMay. You take care.
See.
Um,
It,
it, they've all moved to places. Ironically, they've moved back to places like Space Battles, QQ. Well, maybe not QQ. Not sufficient velocity anymore. But ironically, Space Battles, which was around, I believe, before Fanfiction.net was.
it was around at minimum 2003.
Okay, so it wasn't around before Fanfiction.net was, but I mean, Fanfiction.net honestly didn't get super popular until like 2005, 2007. So I mean, maybe. Because I mean, there was websites like the Great Beast or whatever it was called, which is where everyone went for their Fate fanfics. And then you went to Dark Lord Potter for Harry Potter fanfics, and this is before people really started congregating on FFN. Um, so I mean, there was a period of time where people used alternative websites, and we're going back to that period of time, I guess, because FFN, it's ruined its culture, I guess is the best way to put it. Because like, you go on QQ, dog shit stories, they don't get any clicks. And unlike FFN, where you could really only leave reviews, the main way you get anything going on in a story is through people leaving comments. Like, it doesn't matter if someone watches your story or hits the like button. Like, no one really reads a story because it has 5,000 watchers. No one really reads a story because it has 500 likes. They read a story because it has 300 pages of discussion and only 25 chapters. Beast Slayer, yeah. FFN had culture? Yeah, no, FFN had a culture. They used to have a forum section, dude. Like, the FFN used to be a big thing. Like, people went on to FFN to use their forums to talk about the authors and the stories they enjoyed.
Hmm.
But I mean, it died out. It died out because, again, it basically built cults of personality around specific authors, not around the website. So when those specific authors like stopped updating or moved to a different website, their fans followed them there. Um, so and because of all of the forums, they were segregated. Like each author could start their own form, and it didn't link. It wasn't like a hyper form. Like it wasn't like a, oh, you hit the back button and you go into the general forum section. It was, no, you clicked on Lupine Horror's name, you clicked on his form tab, you went into his Lupine Horror form, and then there was a bunch of different threads in the Lupine Horror form about Lupine Horror stuff and whatever and roleplay and next chapters and omakes. Um, and so, if you wanted to see someone else's shit, you couldn't just, hit refresh and see what else is taking place on the top page. You actually had to go find another author, find their forum page, join their forum page.
Yeah. Whereas
So,
on Space Battles, SP, or even QQ,
yeah.
no, though SP less so nowadays. Anyways,
No, to be
you
fair, SV still has some stuff going on, but it's really just the already established stuff.
yeah, it's the older stuff that's been there for years at this point. There's nothing new occurring unless it's from an established author.
That's adorable. Max, look at this.
Oh,
In the Twitch chat. That's adorable. That's precious.
Oh, the thing I just got rid of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it FFN kind of just killed itself. And I mean then the next big, culture spot for FFN was Reddit, and then they tried to make a Discord out of that, and they successfully did that, but the Reddit culture, killed itself because Reddit culture. And then the Discord killed itself because Reddit culture. Also, the Discord was an unofficial unofficial Discord run for FFN, but people just kind of all went to that because it was the only one that was running, and it was run by this insane fucking Norwegian woman who ran it like a dictatorship, but constantly every single day talked about how much she hated fascism. She didn't appreciate when I pointed that out, the irony of her doing all of that. We got into fights constantly. She had a 1.5 million word Dying Light 2 story that's a gay fic between Kyle Crane and one of the male characters of not Dying Light 2, Dying Light 1. 1.5 million words gay fic about Dying Light. She thought that somehow
Oh, oh,
Ooh,
wait,
was impressive.
didn't Crane have a wife?
Yeah. Like that stopped female authors.
I suppose not.
But yeah, so it was good times, good times. But they that server detonated. The culture on the fucking Reddit detonated. They literally started downvoting and banning people that said, "Oh, I don't like this story," or "Your recommendation is bad because XYZ reason." And if the XYZ reason why the recommendation or story was bad wasn't because the person was a conservative, then that was banned. It was only okay to hate conservatives. And if you didn't like anything for any other reason, you were a hateful bigot, and people are allowed to have their opinion.
Yes. The tried
The
and true
olden
double standard.
days.
Yeah. So yeah, that obviously imploded the subreddit because people would show up being like, "Hey guys, here's my first story. Can I get some grammar help with it?" And then if you posted any grammar help, they would get downvoted, and all the comment replies to that grammar help comment would be like, "Don't be racist, you bigot," or you shouldn't correct his grammar. Everyone's understanding of English is different and no more correct than someone else's understanding. I'm not even like making shit up. I'm like recalling exact comments.
That's definitely the result of chips on their shoulders about their high school language arts teacher failing them
Yeah,
for making the same fuck ups every time, refusing to learn.
yeah. But yeah, so it's just yeah. But anyway, if the world hasn't been consumed by nuclear hellfire, we will see you on Friday because there's always more.